Hello, I'm Lelda Smits for the Finance News Network, and joining me from the Pengana Absolute Return Asia Pacific Fund is its Senior Fund Manager, Antonio Moroni. Antonio, welcome to FNN.
Thank you so much for the opportunity given.
As your name suggests, Pengana Absolute Return Asia Pacific Fund has an absolute return objective focusing on investment opportunities with Asian companies undergoing corporate events. Now, why is this a compelling approach for you?
The most compelling thing about our approach is that we invest in companies that are subject to corporate events. And these corporate events create alpha and opportunities for the investor to capture.
And how does an Asian absolute return event-driven strategy compare to a traditional long-only equity strategy?
Well, investing in a fund such as the Pengana Absolute Return Fund, Asia Pacific, enables the investor to have a product offering alpha returns that are totally uncorrelated to market conditions.
So could you detail your portfolio positioning and exposure by region?
Right. The current exposure that we are running 180% gross exposure, so we employ some level of leverage, split into 40% in Hong Kong, China opportunities, 35% in Japan. We see tremendous opportunities in Singapore as well, and of course our Australian market with about 35% gross allocation as well.
The fund seeks to gain from listed companies undergoing significant corporate events across Australia and the Asia Pacific region. What kind of events do you invest in?
The opportunity set for us is fantastic in a sense that we're looking at merger arbitrage situation, we look at holding company arbitrage situation, and we're looking at equity arbitrage situations as well. That forms the IR trade opportunities for our fund. Having said that, we've got three other sub-strategies. We're looking at earnings surprises, capital management initiatives. Capital management initiatives incorporates share buybacks, demerger, spin-offs. And lastly, we're looking at index changes and directors buying and selling activities.
So Antonio, how does the construction of the fund's portfolio manage risk?
Risk management is probably our key forte in the strategy because I think I mentioned before that we hedge out all unwanted risks, being beta risk, so the market risk is being eliminated. We have currency risk, we don't take any currency views. We hedge out the short vol exposure that M&A investing typically inherit, so we've got a very dedicated approach there.
So how many positions do you hold and what are some of your largest positions?
We typically hold about 60 to 70 situations in the book, and our current largest position is a situation in Japan, again a merger arbitrage situation in a company. It's a scrip merger of Nidec buying out its subsidiary Nidec Compal.
And which strategies have contributed most to your performance over the past 6 months?
Historically, M&A was the key driver of the overall book. If you think back in 2009, 2010 and 11, there were a record of M&A deals being announced. So therefore, the fund was able to employ more capital towards that particular sub-strategy. Over the last couple of years, we have advocated more capital in capital management and also in holding company arbitrage situations.
So what was the fund's performance over the year gone and how has the new year started for you?
Well, the fund performance has been up quite consistently, almost 1% averaging, which is great. But for the financial year, we're up 7% over the last 8 months. And for the first quarter, we were up 1%. And we were able to navigate a very difficult January performance, which was quite challenging. We were able to post a plus 1.9% for the first January month.
And finally, Antonio, what opportunities are on the horizon for the Pengana Absolute Return Asia Pacific Fund?
The opportunity set is fantastic. Just looking at M&A transactions alone, the fund exploits about 100 opportunities year in, year out. which is a great opportunity set for us to be invested in. But other sub-strategies, and that's the great feature about our fund, that we're not only looking at risk-arb situations, we're also looking at capital management initiatives, that therefore share buybacks, demergers and spin-offs, and also earning surprises, which encompasses profit upgrades and profit downgrades by companies.
Antonio Moroni, thank you for the introduction to the Pengana Absolute Return Asia Pacific Fund.
Thank you so much.